Hello and welcome back to the channel. Now, bear with me while I am obviously unorganised. You know the score. So I'm going to put my phone onto silent. I'm going to find the post, because from the thumbnail, as you can guess, this is the answers to the Q&A. Only I don't know what the questions are, so I've got to go and find it. So bear with me a second. Now, this is unscripted, very, very unrehearsed, and to be totally honest, I've not even read half the questions. But I do know there's a couple of good ones, so I'm just going to find a post and then we'll just dive in. So what you might want to do, because it's probably going to be a long video, you might just want to pause it, go and get yourselves a drink. There's the questions. 37 comments, bloody hell. A few of mine, don't worry. I'll try and keep it down to one part, but if it just drones on, then I might have to go two part, so bear with. But pause the video, go get yourself a whatever your poison is, cup of wee, or whatever you might like to drink, and we'll get in. I'm just going to start at the top. I'm going to click all comments. And I'm just going to go from the top comment. And we're going to chat shite. So here we go. Question number 1 is from Dominique Pritchard. And it says, excuse my reading because I'm not very good. What advice would you give someone that has an eye for taking photos but would like to get into the technical side of things, learn about all the terminology and take it up a notch from phone shots to digital? Right. Let's close that for a second. What advice would I give? Bloody hell. I didn't learn it. Well, I did learn it. I didn't go to any college or do any courses or anything like that. It was all self-taught. It was all pretty much from YouTube and watching my peers on YouTube. You know what I mean? I was watching, if I wanted to learn something, I'd YouTube it and I'd go and do it. So my advice is definitely go and do it. As far as gear, you don't have to have the best to take a good photo. You can have the best gear and take a shit photo. So, do I give advice? I don't really. Advice is the wrong word. I can just tell you how I done it. But my advice is, yes, go digital. Phones are very, very good, but you are limited. Without a doubt, it has limitations compared to a digital camera. And I think for me as well, it's the taking the gear out. It's going for a walk with it. It's setting up. It's figuring out what lens and playing about with settings. With a phone, it's kind of all done for you and you're quite limited to focal length to a certain degree. I know some of these new ones have got super zooms and whatever, and they are good, but there is a difference. So I would say go digital, and I would say practice, practice, practice. Simple as that. So without further ado, let's go on to question number 2. Vinnie Jones. Glad I put this on silver. I'm glad I just put this on silent because now it's lighting up with questions. What is your favourite go-to camera, body and lens? My favourite body is my wife's.
This is my wife. This is my other wife. This is my mistress.
Hey, she probably won't watch this anyway. No brownie points there, so 2 seconds, hang on. It's wobbling around on my flimsy desk and I can see it's about to spill. So, I don't have a favourite go-to camera because I've only got one. And that's the one I'm filming on. I only have one, and obviously a phone, which I do when I'm out vlogging. I use my phone because it's easier. So that is the go-to for that. Now, lenses. I've gone through phases, and I think at the moment the most used is the 24 to 105 L series Mark 1. That I'd say is the most used lens I've got because it's got a good range, and I'm on a crop as well, so you're looking at about 35 to 150, something like that, because I'm on a 1.6 crop sensor. That's my kind of go-to if I'm just out and it's taking one lens. That's what I'll take. Now, one of my favourites is the 50mm prime, which do I have? No, I just took it in the house. 50mm prime. All day long, has to be in everyone's bag. 100 quid, brand new, pick them up second hand, 50 quid, 60 quid, whatever. Even the Yungnao, or however you say it, the rip-off Chinese one, I've had one of them to get me into the market, and they're about 35 quid, and they are good. Somewhere way down in the channel is a versus, you know, the cheap versus the Canon one. But those are my go-to. Now, glass, to me, and people will agree, is more important than the body. You can have a reasonably okay camera. Yeah, it's not all about megapixel and all that. It really isn't. Certainly not to enjoy photography. Okay. Now, I think where people sort of get lost is they think they need the best camera. And it isn't. The glass is more important. So I've got two L series lenses and the prime. The prime will always give you a sharp picture. Most prime lenses are very, very good. They cost more money and they have no focal length. They are at what they're set at, 50mm, 85mm, 110, whatever. So bear that in mind. If you get a 50mm, your feet are the focal length. You move backwards and forwards. But that also is a really good way to practice your photography, because you move it about more. So you're looking for a different angle, stuff like that. So I don't have a go-to, but I think this one that I film with now spends the most time on my camera. There you go. Thank you, Vinny. Next one is Mark. We've got, which software do you use for editing? Well, you're in for, there's a laughing face on this. I don't think it's me. It's someone who knows what I use. I use a phone. There you go. That's until about 2 months ago when I bought a tablet, which is the same as a phone. It's just a bigger screen so I can see more things that I've got wrong. I use Lightroom on the mobile for 90% of my edits. I've got another little app called Polish, but it's also called Photo Editor Pro. I don't really get it. It's called Polish in the App Store, but when you upload it, it's called, when you open it, it's called Photo Editor Pro. That's got a few quirky little effects and stuff you can add on. I like a bit of fog in some of my pictures, a bit of mist to create a bit of drama and stuff. They're all in there and they're free. Lightroom you do pay for. Film, I edit what you're watching now on my car stuff and whatever. That's all done on KineMaster, which again is mobile or it's Android, so it's on my tablet as well. The annoying thing at the minute is it was £3.99, £4.50, something like that a month. They've just upped it to £12.99. But it costs, it's $11.99, right, $11.99. But yet when they convert that to England, I know the pound's crap, but when they convert it to England, it's £12.99. I was like, Jesus Christ, okay. So that's a big jump. Now I'm going to roll with it for a bit, because I've only got to do one video and I make money. Like, not on YouTube, but if I sell a car shoot or whatever, it's more than paid for it. So I'm going to leave it and see if they iron out a few slight imperfections that I think the app's got. But it's also got a bloody lot. I can do videos so quickly on it. It's hassle-free. I do it on the move because, like I said, it's on my phone. On my break, I'll just chuck a few transitions in and whatever. So I've got a PC that's got crunched versions of all the various software, and I open it and I don't know what I'm doing. And I can't really be bothered to learn it all again yet. There'll be a point where I have to up my game. But at this precise minute, and with things like the future of how mobile and Android and whatever are, I don't feel I have to really go and spend thousands on a laptop for what I do. But we'll see. Yeah, if I get picked up by big companies and they want better work, then just maybe I need to start investing in some better stuff. But for what I do, that's fine. So it's generally a phone. Even with the tablet and the big screen, I still do 90% of it on a phone because it's easier. I really can just churn them out so fast. Anyway, right, next one, Stephen. What time of day do you prefer for taking shots? Gives the best effect you're after. That's a very, in fact, my answer to this, my answer to that question, because I didn't answer these passé, but I did obviously comment back to some people, yeah, oh, that was a good question, whatever. And my answer to this one was any that pays. So that's the best time of day for me. I'll get out of bed if you're paying for it. But no, I don't. Depends what I'm after. Obviously, if I'm after a sunrise, then that's the time of day. I don't have a favourite. I adapt. When it starts getting dark nights now, I adapt what I'm doing, and I start doing a different style. I'll start getting the wire wall back out and the light painting and going out into the streets and doing some kind of nighttime photography and whatever. So I just adapt. And I've got a few locations that still work for the cars throughout the bad weather anyway. So, I don't have a specific answer. It all depends on what the job is or what I want to photograph that day. Obviously, I can give you an idea of the worst. The worst time is midday and sunshine, blue sky. Everyone thinks for a family photo shoot you want a beautiful day. You don't. It's a cameraman's, it's a photographer's worst nightmare. Because if the sun's here, this side of your face is all shadow, it's overexposed everywhere, there's too much sort of lights and darks because of the bright sun and the dark shadows, and yeah, it's a nightmare. I'll take a bit of cloud or even rain. You can make a really good family photo shoot, believe it or not. So there you go. It's easier to say the worst time of day, and that is, or the worst condition is beautiful sunshine, quite frankly. Next one, favourite chocolate bar. I did say you could ask me anything. And there's nothing rude in here either, which is nice. Favourite chocolate bar? I think it's a Whisper. Whisper. Yeah, I think it is. I do. It's my go-to. Although I'm a fan of Kinder, what do they call, Buonos or something. I like them as well. There you go. Thank you, Alistair. Put you on the spot with this one. From Tez, this is. Put you on the spot with this one. What is your favourite shot pick you've done so far? Oh, right. I tell you what we're going to do. No. I will go into my phone. I'm not going to do it as a screen record. I'm just going to go in and I'm going to pick 3. So I'm going to go with this shot because I just think, God damn it, it took me quite a while to figure out how to do it, etc., etc. And then when I went back with a bigger lens, like literally 2 weeks later, the sun does not set in that position. So it literally only sets in that position for 1 or 2 days to get this shot. And there was a few variations of this shot, but that is one I'm most proud of, and it's the biggest print I've got in my house. But I always refer back to this one, the lens ball. It was one of the first photos that I sold. It was one of the first photos that I was really proud of, you know, bar sort of any of the kids or whatever. As a standalone photo, I just put that, and I hadn't seen it done. I've seen it done a lot of times now. I'm not taking all the credit, but I have seen it done quite a lot now. I hadn't seen it done before I'd done it. It must have been done. Okay, I'm not, like I said, I'm not claiming that it hadn't been done. I hadn't seen it done. And I plonked the lens ball, the lens. It's time for a drink, I think. I plonked the lens ball on the what are they called, trig point thing, and the sun was setting and whatever. And I've got quite a lot of variations of this shot, but this one I think it's generally my go-to. It's probably not my best photograph, but I think my favourite. It has a place in my heart. So there you go, Tez. That is that one. Next one, Pat Francis. What is your favourite shot to take? Dogs, animals, bikes, cars, whatever. To be totally honest, I refer back to the what time of day is best, whatever time pays. It's as simple as that. And I do love everything. I've recently done a portrait shoot, which I will actually show on, because by the time this video comes out, I've probably put it online. I had a portrait shoot with a nurse from work. Don't get any ideas. There was no nurses' costumes or any of that business, alright? Most of them were quite nice and, you know, gentle and soft and whatever, but this one really, I just wanted to do something quite gritty. And this one came out really good. So I really enjoy portrait. I really enjoy photographing people. And I've said before, you know, without being gay, men are really good to photograph, because you can get, certainly the old ones, get a lot of story in their face, and, you know, their eyes look tired and whatever. And I think you can kind of really, not judge, imagine what sort of life they might have had. You know, I don't like photographing homeless people, but they photograph really well, basically. So yeah, anything I photograph, I try and do all of it. The only thing I don't really do very much at all is wildlife and macro, which macro is very similar to wildlife. It's just smaller wildlife. That I think is the ones I don't really bother with. So cars, we know I fully enjoy, and I like cars anyway, so to photograph them is a no-brainer. And I like people. Well, I don't like people, but I'll photograph them anyway. Next one, Penelope. What has been the most emotional photo that you've ever taken, and why? Well, I don't know. I mean, I've replied to this and I don't remember reading that one. The most emotional photo, that's actually quite easy, because one day this will probably break my heart. It is the photo that is half and half of me and my dad. I think that one, again, like I was saying about telling a story, that to me, just sort of the emotion in my dad's face obviously looks a lot like me, which made doing it quite easy. But yeah, I think that one has got quite a special place in my heart and in his heart, because it's me and him, you know, like, and we're morphed together. You get the idea. So I think, yeah, I think that one's got the most emotion. Obviously, I've got like amazing pictures of my kids, but they're still my kids, and as long as it all goes in the right order, we're not going anywhere yet. So, you know, getting a bit deep here. So yes, I'm just going to stick at that one. It's the one of me and my dad. There you go. Dribs, what we got? If there was a moment in history you could step back to in time and capture, where would it be and why? Whoa. I could probably answer this 3 or 4 times over, but I think I'm going to go with something like, you know, you could go back and, well, I don't know, bloody killing Hitler. I don't know, they didn't kill Hitler, did they? They caught him and put him on St Helens. But anyway, no, that was Napoleon. Whatever happened to Hitler? Did he die? I don't know. I studied it at school as well. I know more about Napoleon than I know about bloody Hitler. But I wouldn't want to go back and see him getting shot or anything like that. That doesn't interest me. I think it would be probably photographing when the Berlin Wall got knocked down. I think that could be pretty cool for a photographer to catch that moment of the South and the North, if that's what it was. I think, bloody, don't quote me, Jesus Christ, don't quote me. But I was young, I think, when the Berlin Wall got knocked down, and yeah, I just think that could be quite a cool time in history to photograph. Yeah, from a distance, getting the riots and the people pushing the wall down and stuff like that. So I'm going to go with that one for now. Otherwise, we'll be here all night. Next one, Dominic, not Dominica that we had earlier. This is Dominic. What are your pet peeves when you're on or lining a shoot? Right. Now, I've got one for this, and I'll give this for advice for anyone who's watching who might hire a photographer to photograph their kids. Control your kids. It's not my job. I'm not the parent. I'm not mummy, daddy, bloody guardian, whatever. There's nothing worse than when you're trying to photograph a child, and I get the kids won't sit still, they might not want to smile. I'm with that, okay? And I don't mind that. I've got patience. But it's when the parents make no effort to get them to try and sit down or look over here or, "Ooh, daddy, look this way." Nothing. They just expect me to be a fucking magician, and I'm not. So that is a peeve. That is the one that bugs me. Dogs don't care. Like, you can deal with that. Like I say, put them on a lead and remove them. In fact, I'll pop a shot on here that I never actually spoke about. This shot is 4 different shots of 4 different dogs, all with the owner and a lead in every single shot. And then I just removed from each shot the owner and the lead to create a shot of his 4 dogs sitting at the top of the steps. So I can do that, but you can't really put a kid on a lead. You get looked at funny, trust me. So yeah, just try and help the photographer a little bit with your kids and try and get them to behave, basically. So that's it. I think I don't have anything. Cars are easy, like you just put them where you want them and photograph them. They don't move. Wildlife, I don't really bother doing it because that's worse than kids. So yes, that's what I'm going for with that one. Control your bloody kids. Next one, what would be your dream car to photograph? It would be, and I thought I had this lined up actually, and they've just gone dicks on me now. So Jaguar XJ220, which I will get. There are a couple about, but I did have one lined up for a photo shoot, and now they're just like, they don't return my calls. That's how it is. So I'm not one to name and shame, but the Ash Tree collection in Shrewsbury, Simon or Charles, if you're watching, please get back to me, because I'd like to photograph one of your XJ220s, as you know, because we spoke, and I sent emails, and you said, yeah, brilliant, we can take it to a location, we can do this. I was like, wow, this is bloody amazing. When can we do it? I'm on holiday for a week. Message when I get back, yeah, we'll do. Nothing. Silence. I've rung, they've got my number, and they hang up. So, yeah, I'm not naming and shaming. I'm sure they're lovely people. Just want to photograph your car, that's all. How hard is it? So there you go, that's that one. This is from RJ666, who's followed me from the early days. Things have changed since I first discovered your YouTube channel, looking for lens ball tips. What percentage of chef to photographer are you now? Now, for those that don't know, I'm not a photographer. I'm a chef. By trade, I'm a chef. I've been in the industry since I was 13 years old, and obviously part-time then. I wasn't like sent down the bloody mines as a young'un. I was part-time in a Chinese restaurant at 13, and then I worked in pubs and restaurants throughout my life. I've worked abroad. I've had a pretty good career as far as catering, until COVID came along and pretty much put a spanner into most of the hospitality industry. So I went into nursing homes, which was the best thing I've ever done. Certainly tying it in with becoming a photographer was a no-brainer, and now I have more time for the kids, although I don't have more time for them because now I do photography as well. So scrap that, I haven't got more time for the kids. I've got less time for the kids, but I've got more time to do photography. And although I work more hours as a chef, I would say I consider myself more of a photographer. I'm more passionate about it. I want to do it. Will it ever become a full-time job? That kind of depends on whether I get picked up by companies, because I don't really want to go full-on freelance, because then I have to sell out and do weddings, and I don't want to. So I think I am more photographer, but my main bread and butter is still catering. There you go. John Minion. Now this could be a stupid one, who knows, John? Let's see what you've written. Yeah, it's a stupid one. So, it's if you were travelling in a car at night at the speed of light, which I can stop you right now, that is impossible, because nothing can travel as fast as the speed of light except the speed of light. Something can only travel damn near the speed of light, but nothing except light can travel the speed of light. Fact. Although they have said there's something like a pulsar or something that's come out of a black hole that was faster than the speed of light. I'm sure there's some nerds out there that will correct me, but if you Google it, and I don't have to because I know this, that let's say light goes 1,000 miles an hour. We know it's fucking far quicker, but let's say it goes 1,000 miles an hour. So the next fastest thing could only travel at 99999.999. You know what I mean? So anyway, if you turned the headlights on, would they make any difference? Just asking. Regards, E. Newton. Okay, well, Newton's theories aren't always spot on, nor are Einstein's. They're all getting proved wrong throughout time. Don't get me wrong, for the 40s, 50s, whatever, they've done a bloody good job of discovering and doing what they've done. But things change. Technology's got better. But no, the answer is it would make absolutely no difference if you turn the lights on. There you go. It would make no difference. You would not see the light, because essentially you're travelling faster than it. So it would make no difference, I think. There's going to be a few of you going on to Google now. Finish the video and then go and Google this one and let's see what the answer is. I'm just going off theories that I know, and I'm quite into space and stuff like that. So I don't think it would make a blind bit of difference. And I stand by that answer. There we go. Right, there's only one more, which also is John Minion. So he has put, what got you into photography and what kit are you using? Cameras, bodies, gimbals, lenses, etc. If I'd have read that one first, I'd have brought it all in here. But we'll wind this one up pretty quick now. So yes, what got me into photography? I've been asked this a lot. I can't remember the one defining moment. But the story goes, I've always done extreme sports. And I can't really do them anymore because I'm just getting old and things hurt in the morning. You know, I was missing work because I couldn't walk for a week and whatever. So I still like the outdoors. I still wanted to get out and about. And although I haven't ended up being a landscape photographer, I still do a bit and I still love it. I still like just getting out as an excuse to go and just get up the hill and just go walking and whatever. Oh, I'm taking the camera. You know, it's a bit like we've got a dog. It's an excuse to go for a walk or go to the pub. Taking a dog for a walk, go to the pub. So it was a good excuse, but I don't remember. I think I borrowed the father-in-law's camera to go somewhere. I think we went to Barmouth maybe. I just kind of enjoyed using it. And from then on, I've had the Canon 350, Canon 550, and now the 80D. Soon to hopefully go mirrorless, but again, until I find a need, I don't really see the point. There are benefits from me doing it, yes, but a couple of grand's worth of camera, do I benefit enough? Does it return me enough to spend a couple of grand? Will it make my work any better that I can charge more? Probably not. So, I don't know. That's that. Lenses, all sorts. I'll do a what's in my bag video one day. I've got most ones I spoke about earlier in the video. And I use a Zion's Weeble S. Zion's Weeble. The Zion, or Zion, however you say it, Weeble S gimbal, which is a cheaper version of the Ronin. Very similar in what they're capable of. The Ronin is a bit better, it is a bit smoother, but it's also about £200 more. So again, if there's no return coming back, I can't afford to go out and spend a fortune on it. Simple as that. So I think that is everybody. I hope I haven't missed any. That feels like it's about it. It's probably been a long one, and my camera can only film, to my knowledge, for half an hour, because that's the difference between a camcorder and a DSLR, that they have to legally only film for 29 minutes and 59 seconds, because if not, they're classed as a camcorder and they have to pay more tax when they come into the country, I think. There's a lot of thinking in this that's probably absolute bollocks. But anyway, until the next one, I've been Chrisography. That is the Q&A. I hope I've answered some of your questions. Any more, drop them whenever you like. If you've got more questions, drop them in comments. It just gives me an excuse to make a video. And I'm going to go finish my beer and edit this video, of which I've already done because you're watching it. So anyway, Peace. Fuck me, it is piss. Ooh.